Throughout history, many young leaders have risen to prominence on the battlefield, their youth often juxtaposed with their remarkable strategic prowess and leadership abilities. These young commanders defied the odds, leading armies in some of the most significant battles and wars of their time. Their stories serve as testaments to the power of vision, courage, and determination, proving that age is not always a barrier to greatness. This video explores the lives and legacies of some of the youngest leaders who commanded forces in battle, shaping the course of history in the process. 5. Scipio Africanus. Rome's young general, Publius Cornelius Scipio Africanus, known simply as Scipio Africanus, was a Roman general who rose to prominence during the Second Punic War against Carthage. Born in 236 BC, Scipio was only 25 years old when he was given command of Roman forces in Spain in 211 BC. At the time, Rome was struggling against the formidable Carthaginian general Hannibal, who had inflicted several devastating defeats on the Roman army. Scipio's first major victory came in 209 BC, when he captured the strategic city of New Carthage in a daring assault. This victory was a turning point in the war, as it deprived Carthage of a key base of operations in Spain and boosted Roman morale. Scipio continued to achieve success in Spain, eventually driving the Carthaginians out of the Iberian Peninsula. In 204 BC, at the age of 31, Scipio was appointed to lead an invasion of North Africa, the heartland of Carthage. His most famous victory came in 202 BC at the Battle of Zama, where he decisively defeated Hannibal, bringing the Second Punic War to an end. Scipio's leadership and strategic acumen earned him the title Africanus and established him as one of Rome's greatest military leaders. 4. Napoleon Bonaparte. The rise of a military genius. Napoleon Bonaparte is perhaps one of the most well-known military leaders in history. Born in 1769 on the island of Corsica, Napoleon's rise to power was swift and extraordinary. He became a general in the French army at the age of 24. During the turbulent years following the French Revolution, Napoleon's first major command came in 1796, when he was appointed to lead the French army of Italy. At the age of 26, he led a series of brilliant campaigns against the Austrian and Sardinian armies, achieving numerous victories that secured French control over Italy. His success in Italy made him a national hero and laid the groundwork for his eventual rise to Emperor of France. Throughout his military career, Napoleon demonstrated an unparalleled ability to command armies, innovate tactics, and inspire his troops. By the time he was 30, he had already established himself as one of the greatest military minds in history, leading campaigns across Europe that would shape the continent's future for decades. Despite his eventual defeat and exile, Napoleon's legacy as a military leader remains unmatched. 3. Alexander the Great, conqueror of the known world. Perhaps the most famous young military leader in history, Alexander the Great was only 20 years old when he ascended to the throne of Macedon in 336 BC. By the time he was 18, he had already played a crucial role in his father, King Philip's victory at the Battle of Chaeronea, where he led the Macedonian cavalry. Upon becoming king, Alexander embarked on an ambitious campaign to conquer the Persian Empire, which was the most powerful empire in the world at the time. At the age of 22, Alexander led his army across the Hellespont in Asia Minor, marking the beginning of his legendary conquests. His first major victory came at the Battle of Granicus in 334 BC, where he demonstrated his tactical brilliance by defeating a much larger Persian force. Over the next decade, Alexander continued his campaign, achieving decisive victories at battles such as Issus and Gaugamela, which led to the fall of the Persian Empire. By the age of 30, Alexander had created one of the largest empires in history, stretching from Greece to Egypt and into India. His leadership on the battlefield was characterized by boldness, innovative tactics, and a deep understanding of both his own forces and those of his enemies. Despite his untimely death at 32, Alexander the Great remains a symbol of youthful ambition and military genius. 2. Genghis Khan, the fearless Mongol conqueror. Genghis Khan, born Temujin around 1162, is another example of a young leader who rose to power and led his people to extraordinary military victories. By the age of 20, Temujin had united the Mongol tribes under his leadership, overcoming internal divisions and rival clans. In 1206, at the age of 44, Temujin was declared Genghis Khan, meaning universal ruler. Although he was older than some of the other leaders mentioned, his rise to power and his subsequent conquests were marked by rapid success and incredible strategic foresight. Genghis Khan's military campaigns are legendary, as he led the Mongol armies to conquer vast territories, from China to the edges of Europe. Under his leadership, the Mongol Empire became the largest contiguous empire in history. Genghis Khan's ability to innovate in warfare, particularly in the use of mobility, intelligence, and psychological warfare, allowed him to achieve seemingly impossible victories. His impact on world history is profound, as he not only reshaped the political landscape of Asia and Europe, but also influenced trade, culture, and the spread of ideas across continents. 1. Joan of Arc, the Maid of Orleans. Joan of Arc is another iconic figure in history who led armies at a remarkably young age. Born in 1412 in a small village in France, Joan was a peasant girl who claimed to have received visions from God instructing her to support Charles VII and help drive the English out of France during the 100 Years' War. At the age of 17, she persuaded Charles VII to allow her to lead an army to the besieged city of Orleans. Despite having no formal military training, Joan's leadership and unshakable faith inspired the French troops. Under her command, the French forces achieved a stunning victory at the Siege of Orleans in 1429, turning the tide of the war in favor of the French. Joan continued to lead Charles VI's forces in several successful campaigns, culminating in his coronation as King of France in Reims. Joan of Arc's military career was brief but impactful. Captured by the English in 1430, she was tried for heresy and burned at the stake the following year, at the age of 19. Despite her tragic end, Joan of Arc remains a national heroine of France and a symbol of courage, conviction, and the power of youth in the face of overwhelming adversity. The stories of these young leaders who led armies into battle are a testament to the power of determination, vision, and courage. From Alexander the Great's conquests across Asia to Joan of Arc's inspirational leadership in the 100 Years' War, these figures overcame their youth and inexperience to achieve greatness on the battlefield. Their legacies continue to inspire leaders and military strategists today, reminding us that age is no barrier to making a profound impact on history. Whether through sheer force of will, brilliant tactics, or inspirational leadership, these young commanders changed the course of history, proving that the courage to lead can come at any age. Thanks for watching.